Welcome to today's podcast episode, everyone. I've got a very exciting guest for you guys. For those of you just joining the podcast, I've got Chandan with me today, COO and co founder of Waanee AI. I just wanted to tell you thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to dive into what you guys are doing with agentic AI and how it relates to enterprise innovation.
Super. I mean, thanks for calling in. And Tyson, it's great talking to you earlier, also talking about other stuffs related with agentic AI and enterprise communication. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
100%. No, and I appreciate you coming on. I know that, you're the co-founder of your company now, but you've been in the technology space now for well over 10 years up to this point. So would you mind maybe just laying the foundation for the audience and I, just like a little bit about your background leading up to this point, and then really what your guys' focus is at Wani AI?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, more than 10 years of experience. Like I have around 16 years of experience, and I've been working into enterprise communication itself, related with, I mean, anything which is like where enterprises are trying to connect with the customers, whether it is a CRM, voice, or communication technologies,
Nice.
and new emerging technologies. I have been working on these, help many kind of large enterprises doing the transformations. And with Vani, we are continuing the same, but with a very different scale because, after this agentic AI system and uh, kind of new era Gen AI, things have started changing. It is not like going to start using a new software. Instead, it is about like using or transforming the entire strategy of communication for enterprise.
100%. And I appreciate you kind of breaking that down as well. So I know that your guys, you guys really specialize in, especially at Wani AI, helping sales team at these large enterprise
Uh-huh.
companies not only train and optimize their overall sales process, but also just kind of make their life easier. Could we maybe dive into, a specific use case of, how you guys are really coming in and helping these sales teams leverage agentic AI from like the training front?
No, this is a very right question for the context here. So before that, I'll just give you a kind of approach, like how do we approach enterprise communication. So see, nowadays lots of AI companies are coming and lots of voice bots and chat bots.
Yeah.
People talk like agentic and all, like human like. Uh, with enterprise, it is a bit different. Like you could go ahead like having a pointed solution and you could resolve something. But with the enterprise communication, there are different levels, different layers. You see different kind of leakages. Okay, so we have a unique way of resolving this with the help of our AEMT framework. So where A is automation, E stands for empowerment, and M for measure, and T for train. So
Nice.
what happens, like for the entire enterprise communication, we break it into these four parts. With automation, we identify whether it is a outbound process or inbound process. So the approach is there are different approaches through which we do this.
Yeah.
For inbound, we always see that how much efficiency we could bring with automation. Like around 20 to 30% calls are like very repetitive, which could be definitely automated. For the sales, it is about outreach. Like I'm able to reach out kind of 100 people right now, and instead of that, I could immediately go ahead and reach out to 500 people with the same team. No,
Exactly.
and what we are bringing to the human, like the human who is going to help to understand more deeper conversational challenges.
Yeah.
So these automations are intelligent enough to understand when to deflect
Oh,
and
wow.
at the human. Fine. So that automation is done, then you empower. Empowering is more beautiful than automation because it is about a collaboration between a AI and a human. AI tells and suggests like how to do the conversation. If you are new on the floor, don't know much about the messaging which this enterprise and the brand needs to with the customers, it helps them in doing these all exercises. At the same time, it
Yeah.
also allow you to help the customers speaking in different languages.
Oh,
So
wow.
one is sitting in Philippines and India, suppose in remote locations, and they serving people or customers speaking French or speaking Spanish or German. Human the agents are speaking in English, and the customer is doing the conversation in its own native language. So this is kind of enablement with the help of AI, which you could do. You believe, I mean, these are the main pain area for any enterprise communication. And then when everything is happening, you
Uh,
need to measure it, because you understand where the leakages are happening, where we could
yeah,
kind of tighten these scripts, whether the customer is looking for something else, what are the bottlenecks and all, where
100.
we train. Fine. So this is like a measure. So AEM and then becomes T. T means training. So training is like once you understand where the leakage is happening and how your people needs to approach this
Yeah,
problem, or maybe your agentic system, which is automated, when it needs to be trained. If it goes and automatically train itself, there is a risk also. Fine.
yeah,
It is better you measure, you identify, you understand that these are the major bottlenecks, and let's go ahead and train it. So that training model is also again a agentic system.
yeah.
So once we kind of approach this enterprise communication in this way, we
Uh-huh.
see that a major upliftment with the new agentic system or AI happens into the enterprises.
100%. Yeah, I love your guys' approach. I know that, I've worked with several sales and marketing teams as well, and it's almost like they think to get better results, they want to scale their specific outbound systems or the inbound systems. But as you mentioned, there's those leakages that aren't patched. So as they go try to bring, more flow into their pipeline, it just leaks out of all of the holes that were never patched in the first place. So I love that you guys seek to identify where those leakage holes really are, patch them up before training and scaling. And so and then I also love that you take more of a human enablement approach to this. I think that, companies that are in the AI space, specifically what you guys are doing with your AI sales coaches essentially. It's huge whenever and I can really see the impact when, your guys' solutions are focused more on enabling sales teams instead of just letting the AI run the course of outbound kind of all by itself. As you mentioned, when it comes down to the messaging and when it comes down to a lot of the marketing and the scripting, I mean, one little tweak in one word can make the biggest change or difference in how a specific campaign performs. So I think getting the knowledge, the tribal knowledge out of the sales team's head and into the agent's hands while also having humans kind of oversee that process is how teams can really look to scale with agentic AI specifically. So I love that you guys are taking that human centric approach. And it's almost like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chandan, but you guys are almost consulting with these sales teams in the first place to kind of build out their solution
True.
before deploying the AI. Is that right?
True, true. Because see, it is a combination. Like it's not only about technology. Because again, I'm saying that you're not going to use another software. It is a transformation which is happening, and
Okay.
things which were not possible earlier. So you had a different strategy of communication. Now
Yeah.
there are many things which you could do. Then it's the time to do the transformation, and a collaboration is very much required with the marketing and sales team to see this journey.
100%. And I know that, a key topic that I seen you talking about, it was on LinkedIn or it was on one of our previous calls, but you'd mentioned that like the next 5 years will transform the next 30 years of conversational technology. Could you maybe share some insight into like what you're seeing and kind of what caused that statement, I guess, to be?
Mhm. True. So, see, earlier, it doesn't mean that earlier we were not using technologies. Like I told, I have been working with different enterprises for these kind of transformation earlier also. We had lots of IVR system, very many kind of rule-based automation systems, and very good. I mean, the transformation happened from on-prem dialers to cloud dialers
Oh, well.
system and VoIP systems. Fine. So those were like a upliftment, like upgrade from the previous generation. It is happening all the kind of your business strategies and sales strategies were kind of built around those technologies.
Yeah.
Now many things which could be done by the automation by the agentic system. Okay, it's more than a conversation only. It is also doing in the back end all the activities which a
Oh, well.
human does, and it also has a power to empower a human.
Well,
Now, when we are seeing this shift, which we already started, see, many of the BPO across the world, if you see, they started looking at the digital resales. They are kind of trying to build something which is touchless and agentic. And then apart from the human, they are also trying to sell the agentics to their customer because they know that this transformation is going to happen.
yeah.
When we go to the customer in US, what we say on each of your 100 agents in your conversational setup or a contact center, we save 1 million every year
Wow.
with the help of AI. Now, it's a big statement to make, but it is not very kind of impossible thing.
Yeah.
Every layer, if you save something like a 20% efficiency, 30% efficiency, and scale up
Mhm.
things by 3x, 5x, it's like I'm saying kind of I'm claiming a less number.
Yeah.
Because with the time, what will happen? Every organization will understand and realize, and then they will change their processes also. Right now, the demand and everything which is happening, they are finding out a gap and then they are filling it with the agentic systems. But
100%.
tomorrow, what will happen? They will change their or transform their entire approach towards communication with their customers, and that will lead to a faster delivery, faster kind of transformation. So this, I don't see like next 4 to 5 years. We have seen like BPO has already, they have already started realizing it, and they do have a digital centers now. Like
Uh,
earlier, they were only dealing with IVR and cloud systems. Now they're talking about agentic, and they're also talking about those new RFPs which they are getting into. There is a
100
big part of it, like how much transformation you could do, like how many human reduction you could do with it. Okay,
right.
with building more efficiency.
100%. I appreciate you sharing those insights as well. And another question that just came up as you were explaining those insights was, and really from a marketing perspective, I'd be curious to know, how are you bringing awareness in the crowded AI market? Like, I know how competitive it is because I'm talking to everybody on the podcast, but are you guys leveraging any strategic, like, channel partnerships? I guess folks within your network of enterprise clients you've worked with throughout the years? Or have you found any strategies that have worked well for you, without giving away too much secret sauce, that maybe we can help another technical based software or technology founder kind of understand the principles of how you guys are growing successfully?
And no, there is no secret sauce. The only thing is, see, the market is very big. So when
Yeah.
I'm saying that entire 20 years transformation now is going to happen in 4 to 5 years, or
Uh,
more than 25 years transformation. So the market, the TAM is very, very huge right now. And because you have to kind of reach out to the maximum number of enterprises and
yes.
communicate and kind of share your experience with them,
Mhm.
time is very less. So it is better like you should not stick to one method. Okay, like you mentioned, the going via partners, strategic partners,
Yeah.
ISPs and all, those are very strong methods, where because you already have those accounts already ready with those partners of yours, you don't need to go and create the relationship. You just need to go ahead and tell that what is they are going to get out
Yeah.
of it. So we partnered with organizations like Infosys, and right now, I mean, we do have a very good aggressive partnerships going on with many BPO companies,
Oh,
like
well.
Quest Corp, if you heard, then ICCS. So these organizations have very similar ICPs. Okay,
Oh,
so they
well.
are dealing with those people who are into sales. They are kind of leading the sales processes, digital transformation processes. So you get those ICPs if you go and partner with them. But at the same time, you definitely need to connect directly with the enterprises
Yeah.
for long run.
100%. I appreciate you sharing that. It sounds like, for, a techno-based software technology founder, it's like, don't bottleneck yourself into one specific strategy specifically. Like, understand that the market is huge overall, the overall TAM, especially if you're providing enterprise solutions, and just be able to communicate that value, and identify maybe others in your space who have the same ICP, and how you guys can make your solutions maybe more sticky or more valuable to really the end user of the technology. So that's awesome. And another key question that I had as well for Wani AI specifically is, like, do you guys have any new initiatives that you're planning on rolling out within the next 6 to 12 months? Maybe with your technology, just as a company as a whole. Like, do you guys have
Mhm.
anything related to your mission, maybe that you're looking to execute in the next couple of months?
We are very much banking on two things. One is like bi-directional voice translation, which we talked. We
Nice.
have recently launched this, and this is like we are very excited to talk about this opportunity, because it kind of it allows you to help people from anywhere
Yeah.
across the world. Yeah, sitting remote area and all. And second is we are getting into more processes, right? Right now, it is when the enterprises are talking about something like they need some agentic process, they don't need an agentic process actually. They are looking to resolve the problems which they are getting into communication.
Mm.
So instead of a voice bot or a chat bot or a co-pilot or something, if you are bringing in the entire kind of platter or a platform which
Mm.
says that, okay, it will from tomorrow onwards, it will resolve your problems related with the scaling or scale up, scale down. It will resolve your problem with the inefficiencies. So those how we could do those intelligence we are going to build so that it becomes an integrated system which the enterprises could directly go ahead and use it for their own industry templates, like whether it is a real estate or BFSI insurance, loan, and anything like that. So we are
Yeah.
getting kind of getting more vertical into the industry right now.
I love that. I love that. I think in a world where there's so many different types of chat bots and AI bots that are out there, if you guys are coming in and taking more of like a holistic approach on providing a solution to these organizations that might not be an entire process change, as you mentioned, but it's the 80% of the, or it's the 20% of things that are going to drive 80% of the results
Yep.
versus the other way around. So I love your approach there. And then as you mentioned as well, multilingual AI training agents, I think that that's going to be awesome to follow along with how you guys are doing that specifically. I know I'm out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and there's a very large Hispanic population out here. And so, right when I got out of college, I'd worked for an enterprise company and it was for the Western region, which encompassed Arizona. There was a huge, and I was on the phones, I was customer facing, speaking with customers, and there was a barrier of a language gap. For me, I should know Spanish, but I didn't. And it kind of made the overall process of getting what we were looking to accomplish done less efficient. So, looking back on it now, if I could just work with almost like an AI sales coach that helps me understand faster than anybody or myself could understand that barrier, I think that that would be awesome to see how you guys are providing solutions there as well.
True, and that's absolutely true.
That'll be awesome. And for anybody that wants to learn a little bit more about Wani AI, they watch our podcast. Outside of the website, what would you say is the best social media platform for the audience to go and connect?
Yeah, so we are very active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place wherever we are going to do any new innovation or any new partnership or all about our journey, what we do. We are very much active on that. People are invited to go ahead and follow our LinkedIn page for that.
Awesome. And do you guys have any type of newsletters, maybe a podcast of your own that I can link in the description, or would you say LinkedIn is usually the best place?
So we are going to launch our own agentic podcast also. So we named
Nice.
her Leela.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and she will be like talking a lot uh,
Oh,
like a human, not as capable as people who are professional and all. But yeah,
yeah.
it is good to see that how they're taking lead into all these stuffs.
100%. I love that. So there's gonna Leela, the AI, will be actually the podcast host in itself. Man, that's
Yep.
awesome. That is super awesome. Maybe once you guys look to release that, or you can give me like a pre-release link, I'd be happy to include it in the description of
Sure.
this video. I'm definitely gonna check that out. I think that would be awesome to see.
We will configure it to take your interview and talk to you on
Oh,
which
wow.
you share with the people. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Maybe I can be a guest, or in the testing
Yeah.
phase.
She will be happy to do that. I mean,
Awesome. Yeah, and I highly recommend everybody do go check out all of the awesome stuff that you guys are working on. But really, other than that, Chandan, I just wanted to tell you thank you so much for your time and for coming on our podcast and sharing your insights today.
thanks for the invite. I mean, we are really very happy with it.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on our video if you see it on YouTube. Feel free to comment on our posts if you see them on LinkedIn. And other than that, we will catch you guys in the next video.